Hello Trinity YouTube. Today we'll be taking a look and review at the February 2025 YTC event, which was modeled after the Structure Deck Blue Eyes White Destiny set releasing. As you can see previously, it just came out of a very level 4 centric sort of format. You can see here with the Ryzel Mitsurugi making an appearance in the top cut of the last event. You have some Evil Hero showcase as well, with some Plunder, the Erica, and another Ryzel, another Ryzel in that last event. So you can see, going into this one, we do have a Blue Eyes appearance here, and finals was between Rycape and Buckman, which featured a Malaria list, sorry for mispronouncing it, complete with Argus Stars and all sorts of tricks from a Straw Hat Rabbit. And this is Trap, specifically Trap Blue Eyes, which, and as you can tell from the purple count in this list, features a mix of both new lines introduced by the support and just old stuff of flipping purple. And to shout out the other members, we had a Malice appearance, mostly 3-axis, Reactor, and another Blue Eyes feature. This one featuring more extenders, I suppose. A lot more spells though compared to the other lists. Yeah, Blue Eyes overall pretty explosive. So you can see from the list as well, there's no Maiden in White or the retreat or whatever, as she had to get banned by the getting ban list or make sure things weren't as explosive as they are with the deck and the TCG. But that out of the way, let's get on to the actual match, the finals. So, opening hands, and this is pretty good into Pokemon's list, which is primarily spell trap focused with a few big sticks, but Twin Twisters usually win the game in competitive Trinity. See, can play through this on their side, but leading with what is functionally just a Blue Eyes pass on Rycape's end is pretty alright too. This was pretty popular during the first week of this event. And we have the Malaria sequence that just gets interrupted by pretty underrated card within the first week of testing as well. This card just destroys cards without targeting. It's pretty good. Even better in addition to it's not here, but the Tyrant Dragon, which allows you to loop this freely. You usually shouldn't need to loop it when it comes to Trinity. So here you have just a little bit of poke, 3K beat stick, back row of Veiler, bringing out Revia, and going for Twin Twister to interrupt the search. Just more pokes, and ooh, pretty relevant Solemn, but don't think this is really a winning position here. We do find the Abyss line. Was there anything we could have done about this? Nope. Not in the slightest. So this card spiked up a ton in popularity. I don't know why it looks like this every time I see this card art. It drives me mad, but the polymerization search definitely made Chaos, specifically the card Chaos. Don't know the full name of this guy, but the fusion level 8 that just pops cards on summon. That card go up quite a bit in popularity. We might see it throughout the set, and the additional level 8 search, the end phase, is pretty cool too. And during the first week of testing, this largely was overlooked. It started to come into fruition, but mostly for like just advantage plays, not as much like extended lines. It also has a relevant graveyard effect, but as you can see here, we got a double fusion setup search for the very popular and potent Chaos line. And here's that's 10. So, looks like we're leading with the Pop effect, as I imagine we're going to fuse with the Brutar. Yes, so not going for Chaos, which is actually one hell of a read into the Mirror Force, although it could be argued it's not really a read because deck lists are open for this event, so if anything's set and it hasn't been activatable for the last couple of turns, then it's probably some kind of battle trap or something that saves Pokemon in this position. But just having the unaffected by trap cards or effects text is massive situation. It's just the end of the game. So very heads up. Chaos would have won all the same anyway, but I guess, like, is there even something that Chaos would have prevented there specifically? Maybe like Bottomless. Bottomless exactly. But Darken still would have been lethal. Metal Reflect Slime as well. Yeah, none of these back rows would have mattered even if he summoned Chaos there, so hindsight 2020, but aren't good regardless. And in the event that there was like some kind of battle stop, being able to just reset, like Majesty, for example, there would have been a pop 2 right after. So here we have a no mana crossout. I mean, it is a banish destruction, but into, I guess it targets Moko Moko, who's a pretty good card, and the Man-Eater Bug. It's very heads up side. Not sure too sold on it though. We'll see if it gets value this game. So it looks like we're going for the extended Blue-Eyes line. Okay. So here, it's always like kind of an issue whenever Ravine is up and I'm not sure if you should get rid of it or not, because the value can generate for mostly Dragon decks, obviously Dragon decks, over the course of a game is like absurd. Just take a look at Rockets, for example. It's a pretty good one, where the only sends it ever has is just a guy that adds Synchron and a guy that loops them endlessly. But in the case of this deck, specifically this strategy, it only really has a couple of sends that actually matter. Like if we're actually looking at this list, maybe there's a Keeper, maybe there's a Brotar, but it's almost always just that Stones, I guess, safer for extended lines, but there's not too much to send here. So it could be argued that holding the Ogre for the payoff at end phase, because we can assume that this is going to end in an Abyss line, and because this is Rhykeep's first turn, none of these traps are going to be online. So we could punish the greed that's going to happen, most likely happen here, unless he's going for like Dragon Spirit that just cooked. But well, we'll see at end phase. So here, yeah, as you're saying. So this on summon effect, if we Ghost Ogre here, they just get a Poly, and then they have nothing, right? They lose this, and I suppose they just keep all their back row with the Blue Eyes, and we're still in a rough spot, but it's significantly better than dealing with both of these as guaranteed follow-up. In addition to the play that we saw last time with or last match with the add back effect, getting this back and then going into a fusion right after him, which we'll probably see immediately after in turn 3. It's curious that we searched, or rather added, instead of booking this guy and preventing the second search as well. Curious. Yeah, hitting a Tree Light early is actually massive. This card just would have taken over games entirely by itself. Enough of that. And a normal Veilite. Bottom deck it to summon this guy. Book. Overlay. And then we're getting hit by just extra deck play into trap card 101. Not too much that can be done about this. Getting Ghost Ogre isn't half bad though. So we're getting the utility effect of this card. Very handy in a deck with level 1s. Just being able to reset all your very potent graveyard effects in addition to getting yet another disruption. So it looks like we're seeing the fusion play immediately. It's going to be Tyrant and Darkend. He's just establishing more permanent damage, it looks like. But I guess in this situation, yeah, Tyrant being able to reset literally any trap card. These are two really, really good ones. Both of which most likely beat the top deck. Like this will just give you a Trident, and this will just give you a negate on anything that could possibly get them back in the game here. So being trap immune and preventing the next monster effect probably is writing on the wall for this set. Yeah, and he elects to get strike. So getting that back. Very nice patience on not using this, though not entirely sure why. Was there any normal summon top deck that didn't? I guess the Argus Stars level 4 gets them back in the game. So it is good patience, but at the end of the day, we're always getting this back, right? So you can just use this freely as a 1-for-1 tool. Or heck, even this card that we got the other turn previously. Just keep the opponent out of the game. Here, we're gonna see Chaos make its first appearance this match, which is just popping more cards. The pressure provided by this card is very strong, and it's all to the increased play of Dark End and Light End, because specifically their fusion effects, and it already meets half the conditions, so you're basically being able to run the Blaze Man without needing a polymerization. I guess more comparably, it's a Sundew, the Predapoint. But yeah, this is a very, very strong line, and Bliss going into Chaos for both of Blue Eyes pilots. Yeah, that be the end of the set, it's like. So honestly, I think Pokemon's list was geared to deal with Blue Eyes as a threat, but Blue Eyes coupled with these very strong purple cards and the Trap Immunity by Tyrant definitely swung the matchup more in Raikyu's favor. And, there were also some RNG elements, obviously, with like the Twin Twisters and Twin Twisters on both sides, actually. Very minor macro stuff, or micro stuff in this game, like concerning the Ghost Ogre and whatnot. Overall, it was still a very nice showing of Blue Eyes, especially when it comes to its TCG counterpart, where you're ending on like multiple synchros and the repeated graveyard loops that constantly gives you tempo throughout the battle phase, which is absolute comedy, and something that we don't really see enough of outside of like Unchained. But besides the point, it's a very entertaining match. Probably not the highlight of the event overall. Have to pull one of those from Swiss, but if you're curious, those replays are available in the server. That's all for now. Take care.